The man holding your hand isn't a doctor. He's a merchant. The distinction will matter later, in ways you're not yet old enough to understand. You're 9 years old. You're lying on a table in a room that smells like camphor and copper, in a city so far from home you can't remember which direction the river runs. There are 2 other men in the room. They don't speak to you. Nobody explains anything. Your mother was still praying when they closed the gate behind her. She believed God would provide. In a way, she was right. God provided you. The procedure takes less than an hour. What happens inside that hour will define the next 60 years of your life. You will never talk about it, not once, not even to the men who share your fate, who sleep in the same dormitories, who understand without a single word being spoken. What comes after the procedure is silence. And then, slowly, something else. A life you never chose, inside walls you will never fully leave, serving a man whose name you will whisper in your sleep for the rest of your years. Your mother didn't give you away because she stopped loving you. She gave you away because she loved you more than she loved what you were about to become. In the Ottoman Empire, that's not a contradiction, it's a transaction. And now you're on the other side of it. Let's go back, not to explain, to make you understand. 6 weeks ago, you were home. A village in the Caucasus, maybe. Georgia or Abkhazia. Somewhere in the high country where the air is thin and the winters arrive without warning. Your family isn't poor in the way that means starving. That's the thing people misunderstand. Poverty alone doesn't sell children. Ambition does. Your father has been listening to stories for years. Stories about boys from villages like yours who were taken to Istanbul, trained in the palace, and rose to positions of influence that no free man from the mountains could ever dream of touching. Boys who became gatekeepers to sultans. Boys who accumulated wealth, property, networks. Boys who sent money home, enough money to change a family's standing for 3 generations. The merchant arrived in spring. He travels this route every 2 years, stopping at villages, speaking to fathers. He knows exactly what to say. He knows how to describe the palace in terms that sound like salvation. Your father is nodding slowly before the man has finished his second cup of tea, nodding the way men do when they've already decided and only need the numbers to agree. You're selected because you're healthy, because you're quick. The merchant tested this by asking you questions about the goats, about the weather, about the names of the men in the village. You answered without hesitation. He made a note. That's the moment your fate shifted, though you didn't feel it. The morning of departure, your mother braids your hair. She doesn't speak. She braids it the way she does for feast days, carefully, with her full attention. She ties the end with a red thread. Then she presses her forehead to yours and says something in a voice so low you can't quite hear the words. You think it's a prayer. You'll spend decades hoping it was. Your father counts the coins. He doesn't look at you. The cart moves south. The mountains disappear behind a ridge. And your old life ends so quietly you almost don't notice it's gone.
Here is what you need to understand about the Ottoman palace in the year you arrive. The part that doesn't appear in the histories written by men who were never inside it. The Topkapi Palace is not one building. It's a city, walled, layered, divided into courtyards that each operate under their own rules. You enter through the Bab-us-Sa'ad, the Gate of Felicity. The name is intentional. The name is a warning dressed as a welcome. You're not a prisoner. You're not a servant. You're something the Ottoman language has a precise word for, and the modern world doesn't. You are cool. Property of the state, tool of the Sultan, instrument of the palace's functioning. But cool is also, and this is crucial, a position of intimacy, because only someone trusted absolutely can be allowed this close. The men who process you are efficient and cold. You're bathed, your head is shaved, you're dressed in a plain white kaftan. You're assigned a dormitory in the inner palace, and then your education begins. For 6 months, you learn nothing but rules. Not lessons in language or culture. Those come later. First, the invisible architecture of survival. Rule 1. You belong to no one but the Sultan. This sounds like protection. In practice, it means your immediate superior, the Topkapi Agasi, the chief white eunuch who oversees your training, is the entire world. His approval is food. His disapproval is exile. The Sultan is a concept. The Topkapi Agasi is standing right in front of you. Rule 2. You do not speak of the outside world. Not your village, not your family, not the mountains, not the red thread in your hair which was taken from you on the first day. The palace is a sealed system. Those inside must choose it completely or shatter trying to hold 2 worlds at once. You learn this not from instruction, but from watching a boy 2 years older than you weep for 3 nights in a row. On the 4th night, he stops. Not because he feels better, because he's chosen the only option available. Rule 3. You must be absolutely loyal to a man you are forbidden to love. This is the paradox at the center of everything. Your function, your entire value in this place is proximity to power. You will dress men, advise them, carry their messages, guard their secrets, know their moods better than their own mothers did, and you must feel nothing. Any attachment that runs too deep is corruption. Any loyalty that looks like love is a threat. You must be closer than a brother and less personal than furniture. Rule 4. You are cool. Not free, not enslaved, cool. This sounds like a distinction without a difference. It's not. Slaves can be sold on open markets. Cool cannot. Slaves have no formal path upward. Cool do. In theory, you can rise through this system to positions that carry more influence than most free men in the empire will ever touch. In theory. The gap between theory and practice is where most men in this palace spend their entire lives. Your first year passes in a blur of instruction, observation, and near total silence. You learn to move through corridors without making a sound. You learn to read a room's atmosphere before you enter it. You learn which silences mean safety and which mean you're one wrong step from disappearing. This is how they rebuild you. Not by erasing who you were, but by making who you were completely irrelevant.